Welcome to How to Yu-Gi-Oh!
Let's explain extra deck type searchers.
Chapter 1.
Okay, so in this video, I'm gonna talk about extra deck type searches, why I believe they are a problem, and how I see they can be mitigated and solved in the future. Obviously, these are my own opinions. With that being said, let's get on with the rest of the video.
Chapter 2.
So, as you can see in front of you is a very familiar theme. So to understand what I mean by extra deck type searches are a problem, let's first talk about reinforcement of the army. Reinforcement of the army is the first type searcher that we got in Yu-Gi-Oh! And it was quite powerful at the time, searching level 4 or lower warriors. So what did we do with it? We limited it. It was limited. And to this day, it is still limited. However, what if we were to make the same card, but as an extra deck monster? Herein lies the problem. Isolde, as you can see, on summon allows you to add any warrior. So there's no level restriction. You can add any warrior of any level. While sure, there's a lock there saying you can't use the warrior you've added that turn, that doesn't matter.
I don't like where this is going.
The ability to search just any warrior, regardless of level, type, or attribute, is cannot be underestimated here. And, as you know, Isolde is banned.
Coincidence, I think not.
This is something that's going to be sounding awfully familiar, and you'll see as I talk about other cards that follow this trend. We have Bonfire. Bonfire coming out, I think, a few years ago, quite recently, when Snake Eyes came out. And as we can see, Bonfire's effect, as you can see on this slide, it adds 1 level 4 or lower Pyro monster from your deck to your hand. You can only activate 1 copy. Similar to Reinforcement of the Army, this was very powerful, and so we limited it. But what did we do after we limited it? Konami then released Inferno Flame Banshee.
That sounds oddly familiar.
Flame Banshee allows you to add any Pyro monster from your deck to your hand. And guess what? This card isn't limited. It's at 3.
I find this rather odd.
So what was the point of limiting Bonfire if you were just going to release the same card in the extra deck?
That is so...
And I think I've just talked about this before. Since Infernal Flame Banshee is free, Bonfire being at 1 means absolutely nothing, as you have 3 copies of Bonfire in your extra deck with Infernal Flame Banshee, and that means every single deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! Has access to Bonfire, because it's in the extra deck. The extra deck changes a huge mechanic in Yu-Gi-Oh! As other card games don't have unlimited access like this, the extra deck is something that needs to be considered when it comes to extra deck type searching.
Facts.
As it gets very dangerous, this is the sort of extra deck type searching is one of the things that breaks locks. And so even when Konami puts locks on archetypes, these are the cards that circumvent these locks. Bear this in mind as we are in a format at the minute that has a lot of disgusting plays. And most of these plays are coming from these extra deck type searches. One of the culprits is this Infernal Flame Banshee. Let's move on, and then you're going to see something very interesting as I go into the next slide. So on here on this slide, we have Fire Formation, Tenki. Now, Tenki is a continuous spell, and we can see here, it adds level 4 or lower Beast Warrior type monster. And at the time, obviously, it was limited. And now, it's at 3. But, let's see, Zodiac Broadbull does the same thing. But we notice something awfully familiar. It can search you any Beast Warrior. There's no level restriction, just like Infernal Flame Banshee, just like Isolde.
That's really convenient.
And guess what? Zodiac Broadbull is banned. But if Zodiac Broadbull is banned, and Isolde is banned, how comes Infernal Flame Banshee is allowed at 3 in the game?
Wait a minute. That can't be right.
Doesn't that not sound strange to you? Let's move on and go to the next slide and you'll see something. And so we have King of the Feral Imps. Now, King of the Feral Imps is a card that, as we can see here, it allows you to add any reptile monster from your deck to your hand. And you guessed it, in the TCG, this card is banned. I wonder why.
That's too strong.
While there's no spell version of this card, a spell version would probably be a card similar to Bonfire, saying add one level 4 or lower reptile monster from your deck to your hand. But with the ability of King of the Feral Imps allowing you to add any reptile from your deck to your hand, regardless of level, type, or attribute, that's way too strong. And as you can see, in the latest TCG ban list, it is banned. If we go to the next list, we have Gallant Granite. Gallant Granite has an effect that we're all too familiar with. It's a type search that clearly states, add one rock monster from your deck to your hand. Again, notice a familiar theme here. It can add any rock monster from your deck to your hand. This means that any level, attribute, or, of that rock monster can be added. There's no restriction as you can add a level 4 or lower rock. And so, as we know, this card is doing disgusting things in our current meta scene right now. And already players are thinking about how to use this card in disgusting ways. And if we move over to the final slide showcasing this problem, we see Fossil Dig, Deep Sea Aria, and Fiendsmith Tract. Now, these cards are at 3. And you'll ask yourself the question, why are these cards at 3 and why are they not limited or banned? They are similar, they are not limited. Similar to, Reinforcement of the Army. They have the same effects. The reason why these cards are not banned or limited is because they do not have extra deck versions of them. You best believe if there was an extra deck version of Fossil Dig, saying, a monster saying allow you to add any dinosaur from your deck to your hand, that would automatically be broken and would result in disgusting plays. Equally, if there was a Deep Sea Aria, if Deep Sea Aria was an extra deck card, you know what that would happen. That would mean you could be able to add any Sea Serpent monster from your deck to your hand. And the same thing applies to Fiendsmith Tract. If you were able to add any Fiend monster from your deck to your hand, well, I think we can all say it would absolutely be busted. So what is the lesson here? The lesson here is that when Konami whenever they make an extra deck type searcher, they ignore restrictions and allow the abuse of just that type to search a huge array of things. There's a huge difference with a type searching only level 4 or lower warriors than a card allowing you to search any warrior, regardless of its level, regardless of its type, and regardless of its attribute. These two things are not the same. Being able to search any warrior regardless of level, regardless of type, regardless of level or attribute is absolutely insane when you think about it. And you look again at Broad Bull, again, being able to search any beast warrior, regardless of level or attribute, is absolutely insane. This same cycle repeats when you look at King of the Feral Imps. Being able to search any reptile, regardless of level or attribute, is absolutely broken. Again, we look again at Infernal Flame Banshee. Being able to search any pyro monster, regardless of level or attribute, is absolutely broken. This familiar trend repeats with Gallant Granite. Being able to search any rock monster with any bypassing with any level or attribute is absolutely broken. So, what is the lesson that we need to learn from here? Extra deck type searching is absolutely broken and needs to be addressed as soon as possible. And we have seen as I've shown you through countless examples, when there is an extra deck monster that can search a particular type, Konami always removes restrictions on that extra deck monster, meaning it's just the Wild West. It can search anything. So yeah, that is something that needs to be considered and needs to be understood by us as the player base. The problem that I think is in this format, or rather, is searching particular types without restriction. A type search without any form of restriction is, I will repeat, absolutely broken and should not be allowed in the game at all. That is my hot take on this matter. Well, let's head on to the conclusion.
Final chapter.
And so here I am at the conclusion. So, what do I want to say about this matter? What I do want to say when it comes to extra deck type searching is a problem and is something that needs to be addressed by Konami. I think Konami this year has been fantastic in making appropriate locks to decks. Now, when we look at a deck like Yami Mitsurugi, that's fine. To me, splashing decks together is not a problem. And especially when we look at the builds that we've seen in the current tournaments in YCS Anaheim compared to Lille, they've been absolutely fantastic and great boards. What the problem has been, and where Toxic Yu-Gi-Oh! Has come in, was when we had these extra deck type monsters that were searching and had no restrictions. The Infernal Flame Banshee was a problem, as it bypassed the locks and allowed you to search Nemesis Flag, which would therefore get you into a disgusting floodgate, which was Arch Nemesis Proteus. Proteus shouldn't have come back, by the way, but that's a discussion for another time. When we look at Gallant Granite, again, this is an example where we see the Amitsurugi board bypassing the locks in place on Mitsurugi by having an extra deck type searcher allowing you to search any rock, which in this case will be, you guessed it, the fossil diner, Persephone. These extra deck type searches that bypass locks are a problem. We've seen countless times in Yu-Gi-Oh's history. When we have an extra deck type monster that bypasses locks, we ban them straight away. Just in our recent ban list, we banned King of the Feral Imps for exactly the same reason. We've banned Isolde, the Tale of Two Noble Knights, again, for exactly the same reason. And I feel in the next list that should be coming, we should ban Infernal Flame Banshee and Gallant Granite, as these are the clear problems. And this is what needs to be addressed going forward. And going forward, I feel, searchers in Yu-Gi-Oh! In the main deck is absolutely fine, as when they get out of control, we can mitigate it by limiting the card that does so. However, when we put these search abilities in the extra deck, which Konami does, what they tend to do is that they do not put any locks in place, as they allow these cards to just search with reckless abandon, with no limits or restrictions whatsoever. Look at the difference between Reinforcement of the Army and Isolde, the Tale of Two Noble Knights. Reinforcement of the Army just only allows you to search a level 4 or lower warrior type monster. You are locked to level 4s or lower. Your pool of searching is restricted. While yes, it is powerful given the time it came out, but still, you do not have a huge pool to search from. But when you think about Isolde, the Tale of Two Noble Knights, saying you can add any warrior, your pool of search targets is drastically increased. You don't have a level restriction of level 4. You can search level 10, level 12, or lower warrior type monsters. This is huge. Another thing as well, you have no restriction to your attributes either. So you can search any warrior monster with any attribute as long as it's level 12 or lower. This is huge. This is basically having access to every warrior type monster in the game. Absolutely insane. No wonder we banned Isolde. The same logic applies to Zodiac Broadbull. Tenki, again, only allows you to search a level 4 or level 4 Beast Warrior. Not even lower. So you can only search level 4 Beast Warriors. The restriction is even harsher. as they have learnt a big lesson from Reinforcement of the Army when they released that. But when you see Zodiac Broad Bull, the restriction is not there. Again, you are able to search with Zodiac Broad Bull, I repeat, any Beast Warrior, regardless of its level. This is absolutely insane and is way too much searching for anyone to have. You cannot use that power responsibly. And as a result, we banned Zodiac Broad Bull as well. Let's again look at our recent list when we look at King of the Feral Imps. What does Feral Imps say? King of the Feral Imps allows you to search any reptile monster. I repeat, any reptile monster, regardless of its level. This is absolutely insane when you seriously think about it. There is no restriction. There is no, it's just you just do it. Just go for it. It's insane. Too much searching. And as a result, we banned it on our latest list. So with these clear examples, right? Why is it that we limited Bonfire, yet we didn't ban Infernal Flame Banshee on the list at that time? Why was that the case? Why is it that Gallant Granite is allowed to roam free in these instances, right? This allowing you to search any rock monster. Again, insane. So this is what needs to be considered. And I think that's all I've got to say in this video. Tune in next time as I'll talk about more things on this channel. Hope to see you soon.
We come to the end of this video. So, as I like to say, you are one step closer to becoming a Yu-Gi-Oh! Master. My fate, right, is in your hands.